Welcome back to Project Ozone 3, and it seems the latest update to the pack has brought back this awful sky texture. Really don't like this, but my resource pack is on. Let's just take a look. Yep, it is on, so yeah, I'm not quite so sure on that. I'd like to find a way to get rid of it, but I'll have to have a look at that later. Anyway, latest version of the pack, we're going to want to be looking into power this episode. I did get some comments between the episodes, lots of suggestions, including someone that said that the Endis Pearl has an EMC value. That we could just duplicate it, and it really doesn't. I wish it did, believe me. Anyway, moving on. Power. So the power, there is actually Ender IO conduit, and I'm not used to it only going up to the, not this one, only going up to Ender energy conduit, which is 20 kRF per tick. So I thought, well, yeah, of course that's a top tier in Ender IO. There must be some other mod that's needed. Well, it turns out Ender IO has added some other stuff, including very, very bad energy conduit, but all the way up, and it gets to Electrum, Silver, Crystalline, which is double the Ender one, and it keeps going. It goes to Crystalline, Pink Slime, Melodic, and Stellar. So Stellar is 2 billion RF per tick. That should do, okay? It should do. So to get it done, we need a Stellar Alloy ingot, which needs us to get Melodic Alloy, which needs us to make Melodic Alloy. So we need to first of all just sort of a few bits and pieces out, and then we should be able to EMC copy it once we've got those bits and pieces sorted out. One of those things is, oh, and this has more stuff to it. Did that have that thing before? That seems to have changed. Anyway, there's been lots of updates, so I may have to look through. Oh, that's awful. I may have to look through various updates. Let's go downstairs. And then we just want to make the melodic stuff. So let's just take some of this stuff out of here. And yeah, the obsidian is blue. It's the resource pack. Okay, so we're going to have to sort that one out. Endstone, dark steel, and obsidian, I think. And that will cook up together to make end steel. Again, I think. There we go, end steel. And we can combine that with a popped chorus fruit to make the melodic alloy. And we need to make the stellar alloy from that. So melodic alloy is EMCable, so we will just add it to the system anyway. Clay I probably haven't put in the system, so let's take that back out. Clay. Yep, so let's just make sure we have that EMC'd for both of those. Yep, melodic. And let's take a stack out and a stack of clay. Yep, straightforward. And what was the other thing we needed for the stellar alloy? Stellar alloy? Just a nether star. Yeah. So let's grab one of those. 4 of you. And 1 of you. Put the rest back in the system. And we can put these through, and that should make us 1 stellar alloy. The other component of the conduit is stuff that we haven't made before, I don't think, called Infinity Reagent, and it's made, it seems, from pulverized coal and grains of infinity, and we should have those, so grains of infinity. And let's just see what coal we have. Coal. Do we have any pulverized? We do. Good. We can use both of those. So there's 2 stellar alloy ingots, and this should make our Infinity Reagent, and we'll go and do the same thing with that. So let's just take 1, and there we go, and let's get some reagent back out. Put them both in the system, and we should now be able to request this conduit. Okay, and it is 8,000 EMC each, so we just take that out. Good. And back around we go. And then we have conduit available, and we have really, really good conduit available. Okay. Now, remember in the last episode when I said there was lots of explosions going on around that power tap? I assume that means that, well, someone in the comments, oh my, oh, this is awful. Yeah, I'm going to have to sort the resource pack out. That's terrible. Yeah, in fact, I probably will do that at some point very soon. Anyway, yes, someone was saying that I was completely distracted by oh, these are awful. 1 second. There we go. That's better. Yes, so as I was saying, the reactor over here, the power tap, presumably has a maximum, which is a little bit unfortunate. I can just replace it with a low-end cable, but we're not going to replace it with a low-end cable. If it is to do with the power tap and not to do with a direct connection to the capacitor, this should blow out the reactor. Not too explosively, but it will cause an explosion. Warning to your eardrums, I've already got a muffler, but just in case. Nope. Nothing to do with the power tap, it seems. That seems to be able to take whatever and supply whatever. It seems to be to do with Ender IO right next to Extreme Reactor. Something to do with the capacitor itself causes that kind of thing. So the reactor, of course, can only take a certain amount in. So it may well be that if you try to supply too much in, it just won't just reject it. The whole thing will just explode. Well, it sort of explodes. Prior to this pack update, nothing happened, just lots of explosions. With pack update, it does take out that redstone flux power tap. The reactor turns off because it's missing a block then. So you have to come back and set everything back up again, and around you go. But now, essentially, we have this available, and it should be outputting power. It should be on. Yep, it is on. And 187k RF per tick. So it's fine. Its energy buffer is full. We don't have any problems with it. But I did disable the power output. What basically happened was the reactor turned off, the capacitor drained, the AE2 system turned off, and I had no conduits to kind of fix the reactor, so I had to just redo things. Anyway, that's done now. We have our Ender Spectre coils, and I can just go and put this back on this block over here, and hopefully things will reactivate-ish, although it could end up draining stuff. So let's just take a look in here. It is filling up faster than it can feed outwards, which is a good sign. And let's check underneath. Are you okay again now? Let's go around back. In 135k RF per tick. So that is fine as far as I'm concerned, for the moment anyway. And everything else will continue to craft, just not very fast by comparison to other things. You have got 4 ultimate singularities. Okay, so I can't immediately get rid of this Endis Pearl thing because, yeah, they do have no EMC value, that is. But it is generating them, and we've got them in our AE2 system. And while I'm thinking on, how is our AE2 system doing for storage? Do I need to up anything in here? No, I've got 5 64k drives there, and then another 6 there, so they're quite happy as is. Okay, and yet more bad textures. This is just the default texture pack now. I don't have anything else other than that, so yeah, not sure what's going on there. That'll have to wait. Maybe that needs an update or relaying. Oh, I hope I don't have to relay cable. But if I get some flux cable and put it down, yeah, it looks fine. But black flux, black cable, black. Yeah, there's something wrong with the black. Well, okay, weird. Very, very weird. So that's the thing. This latest version of the pack is obviously greatly improved the previous version. Anyway, this episode we got the conduit already. We should start thinking about what options we've got for basically power generation. So we've got some various solar panels, and people were recommending in the comments lots of different solar panels, and there's probably a number of different kind. Well, those are terrible for a start. There are probably lots of high-end solar. So Draconic solar panel is basically generating 262 FE per tick, and there's a chaotic one which is 500,000, a neutronium one which is 1 million. Solar panel of infinity. It's not generating infinity, it's generating 16 million RF per tick, FE per tick. It's not infinite. Yes. Anyway, that's a recipe. Let's go back. No, that's a recipe. We don't have an infinity catalyst yet because that's the thing we need the cosmic meatballs for, so we can't go to that tier yet. What's the tier before? This is the neutronium one. What's the chaotic tier? Combination crafting. That's going to need awakened cores and draconic solar panels to make a chaotic core. Sorry, an anti-chaotic core, I should say. And that is going to require chaos shards. And chaos shards, oh my, how far back here do we need to actually go? Liquid chaos. Liquid chaos comes from magic converter. From Awakened, refined obsidian, pal neutrons, carbon. That's not actually too bad. Do any of these have EMC values? Please give me some kind of EMC value at some point through. No, they don't. And that needs fusion crafting core by anyway. So yeah, let's ignore that for a second. So draconic solar panels, which will give 250,000 per tick. They need draconic energy cores, which is awakened draconium, which we already should have, I think. Or maybe we've not done awakened draconium. No, we've just done regular draconium. Okay. So, solar panel. All right. So, if we need to get awakened draconium, is there any way for us to actually make this easily? How do we get the draconium blocks? Is there any shortcuts? They do not have EMC values either, which is unfortunate. Do they have awakened draconium seed? I think they should do. Awakened draconium seed. Yes, we do have awakened draconium seeds. And that needs just 4 awakened draconium. So that's probably our easiest route in. And then we just need to be able to make the awakened draconium itself, which is fusion crafting again. But it only takes 4 draconium blocks and then 350 million RF. Okay, so if we can't get to the 250,000, can we get even lower? How low can this go? Wyvern solar panel? This looks more promising. Yeah, this looks like stuff we can actually make easily enough. Wyvern energy core, Wyvern core. Yep, all of that can be made. And then it's going to go through all the previous tiers. Dragon eggs, but that has an EMC value. We can make multiple of those and just made them available in the system. And then everything else is going to just be made up of stuff that we can actually craft. Although there is a lot of teching up through a lot of recipes. I'm going to go through a lot of those off camera, I think, because that's a lot of different crafting recipes. We're going to get the system to make it, excuse me, the AE2 system to make it. We're not going to make any of that handcrafted, apart from something like a dragon egg. And I do have one, so I can immediately use that to basically be able to make more. Oh, and I'm down to 7,000 EMC. Did that get wiped by the thing, or did I use it all? To generate these. If I put that back in, 7 billion. What? The stack EMC says 560,000. Oh, okay, sorry. No, that's a G. I thought it was a 0. Nope, 7 billion. Yeah, 7 giga EMC. Fine. So we can take 64 dragon eggs out, and that's not a problem. We'll put them in the system. So I'm going to go and craft ourselves through those parts, or at least train the system how to craft them, so we can bring the solar panels up. And then what we're going to be doing is taking them out to something like the mining dimension, and then putting them on top of lots of vibrant capacitor banks, because we make those with EMC as well. And that will make a sort of a gigantic array that it'll only be powered during the day, but because it'll be so large, you know, while I think the mining dimension may be permanent day. It sometimes comes across as twilight. I'm not sure whether it counts or not. But if it is permanent day, then we'd no problem at all. And if it isn't, as long as the capacitor is large enough to handle the actual nighttime, then it doesn't matter either way. Okay, so let me get those recipes crafted. Okay, everything is now encoded into the system, and we can tell it to make just a solar panel 8 or something. So a solar panel. And do we have all the resources? Well, I do. Apart from... yeah. Dragon's breath. Yeah. So we have to resurrect the dragon. All right. And yes, this has still got odd textures. I will try restarting the mod pack at some point. I'm not quite sure it's going to solve that particular thing, but probably reinstalling a resource pack. Yeah, this is sort of awful. And now I have to remember which one of these. I assume this is my end portal. I would assume. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and we just need to go over to the portal. In previous versions of Minecraft, this used to be a whole special ritual that you needed to actually do. Not so much. There is a vanilla method to doing it with 4 end crystals. So you just pop them down on all 4 sides of your end portal, and that should resurrect the dragon, hopefully. Yep, there they go. And we need to get ready for it as we normally would. However, we should be a little bit more overpowered. Whoops. Ah. I want to get my glass bottle out, and where's my shuriken gone? I'm not sure what the shuriken is. In any case, we can probably just get rid of these things. No? Are they all connected? Is it resurrected yet? Oh, it's still lighting them. Okay, so wait for it to light them all. And there we go. We should just be able to use our disassembler or whatever. Yep. And I'm going to go around, and then once you see it spit out a cloud of breath, essentially, you need to go and try and catch it with one of these bottles. Easier said than done, but it just requires flying around for a little bit. And 1 kill later, we've got a bunch of stuff just from our E44, and one of those things is another dragon heart, of course. We've got some dragon scale, well, 1 dragon scale, some ender dragon scale from armor plus. That may become useful. Some dragon scales, fair enough, but more importantly, dragon's breath. And if we then just dump this stuff in, I've also got some ender rare bottles, just because I misclicked, but they don't have an EMC value. Probably don't have much of value for me at all. So let's just put all this stuff away. And yeah, we should be mostly done, I think. Then we just need to tell it to make those solar panels. So can you craft a 32k RF per tick or FE per tick solar panel for me, please? Let's try 4 of them, because that is what's needed for the next upgrade. We are going to need quite a lot of stuff that's missing, and it's mostly just basic everyday stuff. And yeah, so we're going to need lots of bits and pieces. Let's just actually craft 1 of them. Oh, in fact, no. Yeah, in fact, just need 1 of them, because we can upgrade with EMC, can't we? So Dragon's Breath. Let's just grab a stack of that. That can go away. And make 1 of the solar panels then, please. There we go. 1. You should have everything you need to start. Yep, and if we can have a look on here. It will probably take a little bit of time. Yeah, I think it's going to take 3 minutes. So while that's actually going, let's go and take a look at the next tiers up. So solar panel 8. And then the 9 gets us, starts to significantly upgrade. 10. Chaotic. Neutronium, solar panel of infinity is the top level one. Okay, so 32k RF per tick, and that it should be easily able to basically provide us with quite a lot of power without even going much higher, because remember, we can just duplicate this. So let's just see what comes out of that. Let's wait for our system to finish. Okay, I've just turned the night vision on for this. We're out in the mining dimension. Yes, there is nighttime. So out here, I've filled in this entire chunk. It's obviously 16 by 16. And we've got a chunk loader in the middle there, so we can just put down our vibrant capacitor bank. And that pretty much has 6.4 million input IER per tick, input and output capability, which is going to be great. And we've indeed got solar panels, which can do 32 kWh per tick. And at the moment, it has relatively little around. Some of it just because it was in my inventory and that was trying to charge. We're not going to need to do that, so those can both go away. We can, however, put this solar panel 8 in there. However, it is taking quite a lot of EMC. It's 1.96 million EMC for a solar panel. However, I've got 73 giga EMC, so let's just see what happens now. So it's 20 million, is it? Oh, well, 64 times, oh, there we go, 125 million basically per stack. So 16 by 16, well, we'll see how long this actually lasts. So it's basically 64 will only last 4 of these. So I need 4 stacks, which is not too bad because I do have at least that amount, I think. 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. Why did that go down? And then I thought that was a 90 something. Very odd. I don't know how I went down to 20. Never mind. Anyway, we've got everything we need, so I can just lay these out and let's see how fast everything actually goes. Obviously, nothing will happen because it's nighttime right now, but yep, once the sun comes up, we can take a look at there, unless there's anything residual power coming in. No, there's not. Okay, so I'll lay out the rest and come back shortly. And the sun is coming up, and we've got an entire field of these solar panel 8s. And on the front of here, we've got a giant display now, so we can see each of those. You just basically right-click, shift right-click each one of these things, and it makes a larger display. Straightforward. So in is like 4 million. This whole thing is filling incredibly quickly. However, we can improve even that. There is an efficiency upgrade, and that is also an EMC item. So we can just dump that in and get the upgrade. So upgrade. And basically, you can put as many of these as you actually want in. And I think it's actually just 20 per solar panel. Now, are these actually linked? Will it actually let me install them? Yep. So Is that for all of them? No, so they are still individual. So you can go through if you want to and go and position each one of these. It'd be nice if you could shift click them in. That would be excellent, but apparently that's not going to be the case. However, I'm not going to need to worry too much about that because this entire thing is now full. And it takes basically, it can input at 7 million RF per tick, and it has 7 billion RF per tick total. Sorry, 7 billion RF total, or whatever equivalent, you know, micro I little. These units, just call it RF. It's probably easier. Okay, so then we just need to basically move across our wireless input, which is coming from our void world, and we'll move that from the reactor, and we'll move it all the way over to this solar, and then you can join me for just basically reattaching the wireless spectre coils back to the setup for everything else, pretty much. Okay, so if we make this into basically an output, I think that's the right icon, and you're instantly full, and this thing is basically working. So we have basically a full thing all day, every day. Now, what I'll be interesting to see is what happens at nighttime. How quickly does this actually deplete? Because we have 7 billion RF, but we are consuming it quite quickly. So that is something to think about. However, for now, that should be sorted, and I can go and switch all of the machines back to using wireless power, or indeed we could. Well, we may not even need to. Let's have a look. Let's have a look how much power is being used. I think we may need to, because each of these has 20k RF per tick. The spectre coils, 27 of them. Yeah, 20k RF per tick, and I think these can take in a whole bunch more than that. So if we try and put it through that one energy cube, it may well be not particularly efficient at providing power. So instead, we can go back to these coils. So you can just drop them onto the side, onto the back in my case, and put them all the way along. And they should start producing our output really quite quickly. I think I'm going to be too short, but I think these EMC? No, they don't. But I think I taught the system how to make them. So that will be, yeah, I did. So just give me 2 more. Go, and that won't take very long at all. And I'll just put these away for now. We're not going to need them. I'll put them onto those solar panels if I need them. For example, if at night time it turns out that we need more storage, all I'll do, I won't need any more solar panels. I'll just need to put down more vibrant capacitor banks and build up a much larger storage buffer, and that will last through the nighttime, etc. Is that those coils done? They are. Good. There we go. And let's see what's happening to the power in there. Well, they're certainly consuming 20k RF per tick each because it's at 0, so that it's not building up. Is there any larger coils? There is. Oh, no, there isn't. Infinite RF per tick. That's not infinite still, honestly. But that's a creative only thing. There's no actual recipe for that, even though we have other creative recipes. So there is other ways we can look at transferring the power. I'm not going to cover it this episode. So this episode we've improved everything, so everything should be receiving at 20k RF per tick. And that means 400 RF per second. So, you know, depending on how long nighttime lasts, and times 32 for each of these, yeah, we may well need a larger buffer. We'll see. We'll see how well it goes. In any case, these should be crafting faster now. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got 11 of them, and we've got spares up there already, and you'll see the popping in quite quickly. Yeah, I'm much happier about that. Okay, it's now nighttime, so I thought I'd come over here and see how we're doing. These are now saying generation 0, good, and they have an internal buffer as well as the capacitor, which means pretty good things because this internal buffer is depleting quite slowly still. So capacitor remains full at 7 billion. These are 128 million each. And of course, there are 16 by 16 of them. So we've got yet another large buffer. And you can see it's depleting at the same rate across all of them. So yeah, that's like maybe 122 seconds or a few minutes anyway, we should get before they even hit this 7 billion RF. So yeah, happy so far. We can always add more. Once we've done that, I thought I'd go over quickly to the to Landia, to Landcraft, because we need the Kelline ore, or Kelline ingots, if you remember rightly from last episode, to make... Is that the Landia stuff? Yeah, looks like that is it. To make the ultimate ingot. So we should go head over here and we can see if we can set this up and see if it'll find Kelline. It may not do. I may have to go searching even further, but we can... we don't need to use the basic energy cube anymore. Chunk loader is still useful, of course, but this... Well, let's just put it down there. And then I have to remember which of these ports is the energy port. I would assume there... Oh, I did need the basic energy cube because it needs some kind of intermediary thing. In fact, let's just grab the ultimate one, and I've got in here instead of the basic one, and we'll use this instead. Okay, and let's see whether that actually works. Okay, config, item filter. Yeah, I don't have anything to actually go off, so I'm going to need to either specify it... We need to specify it with a filter and or dictionary maybe. So let's just try Kelline and let's see whether that will actually find anything. Let's go back. Will you find anything? No, it doesn't look like you do. So I need to either find the right thing, the right name to call it, or, you know, a sample of some kind to get it to find more. Kelline ore is its name. So, well, and it's... it needs to be reset now. Let's just change that to Kelline, capital Kelline ore. Will you find anything now? Let's just delete you. No, you're not going to find anything. Fine, I'm going to have to go and see if I can actually get that running. So I'm going to have to go and search for some ore, I think. Time to bring up the night vision and head off in a random direction for caves. I did go looking, didn't find any, so I thought what I'd do is just change the digital miner, just look for all ores. To do that, just basically go to reset, go into Audic filter, and then type star or star, and you'll be able to, it'll look for everything, basically. Everything with the word ore on it. And in fact, can we even, I wonder if it will actually do that if I do star Kelline. Kel? See, nothing coming up there, and unless it's not actually in Landia. That's entirely possible, but if anyone knows any different, do let me know. In which case, I'm just going to go set this back to all. No harm in getting those. And it will cycle through, but yeah, visually, we can just start it up. There's 13,000 to mine, and so I've just put in our chunk loader back and our input to the system, and then I will actually just pop this down with a spectre coil and make sure I've set the side config to the top. It's input. It is. Good. So we're now ready to just go back. And we pretty much can just wait for Kelline. I do have other stuff going that's just random, just like this. Whoops. This quantum quarry. This is still on and has been on for a while. So we do get random stuff through here. But yeah, I'm not too concerned. And it's daytime again, so we should be okay for our solar setup. I will go over and check it, but I think it will be at full with all the buffers at full. Can't imagine why it would be anything else. Where is it gone? There we go. Yep, so the capacitor's full and all of these are full as well. So, yep, job's a good one. And we're on to the next thing. And Kelline ore did come in, so I've got one of it. So let's just reset this. Go back to config. Delete you, add a new filter for item stack of this Kelline ore. Yeah, you know, it is spelled correctly. And then we can go back and start. Yep, there's 195 of it to mine, so that is going to go right ahead and should start appearing in our system. Yep, it does, and that means we can take this and then use it for basically manufacturing the Kelline ingot itself. And can we just put this in any smeltery? I mean, I suppose we could double it with maybe induction smelter and sand, and even rich slag or cinnabar. Either one of those would do the job. Do we have any rich slag around? Rich. Yes, we do, and probably have some cinnabar as well. And it doesn't have an EMC value. Does the rich stuff have an EMC value? No. Okay, so cinnabar it is. And let's just grab some of that, some of the Kelline. And we've already got more than enough to actually solve the problem. So back we go. And yeah, let's just actually put it downstairs in the... Oh, I've moved it across the other base. In fact, how much of this stuff we've already got? Because I can be quite wasteful. Yeah, we've already got enough stuff, so a couple of those. And we'll just dump it straight through our regular smelter. We won't worry about multiplying it. There we go. And that's 9 of them, which of course we can then do the usual trick. We can just basically copy those across into a block. Or, how many do you need for the ultimate ingot? Because I need 1 block of the ultimate, so I need 9 ultimate ingots. So I'm going to need 8 times 9 basically, so 72 full stack of Kelene. And we will already get that from our digital miner, so I don't need to do any kind of block multiplication with anything else, I don't think. And we should be ready to sort of set this up now. We've got an ultimate crafting table. We just need to get, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients, and we're going to do something very, very similar to the Endis Pearl. So we can head back over here, and I can head out to this. Yep, and we can do something extremely similar and get that set up. We just have to wait for the Kelene to arrive and be smelted. In fact, I'm not going to need this setup very long, so I may not even bother with these, to be honest, because we are going to go straight to the ultimate ingot, to the ultimate block, and then from that we'll be able to duplicate using wand of animation, so we won't have any problems there. So I have got most of the recipe here. We've got some of the rest of it, which is Kelene, just in those slots, and we'll then have the ultimate ingot. But just because I decided to actually just make this the normal way, and through all of these, of course. So we do get everything here, and you can see it's just importing everything it can do for as many of these as it can. It is needing the manual in more than anything else, really. So these should stop. Did I set this up right? Config, auto insert, and don't really much care about that. Auto extract, don't care about that either. Smart insert on. Yeah, okay, so it will stop before it jams itself. So there it goes. And you see it's already run out of the Kelene. So we probably already should have... Ooh, we need a little bit more Kelene. We need just like a touch more. In fact, that 9 there should do the job, hopefully. In fact, I may have to actually manually insert it just while it's trying to insert those itself. There it goes, 1 more. And that gives us 9, which we can then take and turn into an ultimate block. Let me just actually take one of these out. So I get the ultimate ingot quest. And then we can get the ultimate block. And our mob imprisonment tool. Mob imprisonment tool. Yep, empty one will do. And I just need to get my wand of animation from somewhere. There it is. And my ultimate block. 1, 2, 3. Ultimate blocks we've got. Good. So that's pretty much this episode. We've got ultimate blocks, which is the next sort of thing on our quest list at the very bottom of Psi down here. Yeah, so there it is. So we get 10 rack for it, I guess. And then we are sort of heading towards the Cosmic Meatballs next, the Ultimate Stew. That'll have to wait for another day. And that'll take us towards Infinity Catalysts and the Infinity Ingots. But is there anything I can actually do with this that isn't just making those? So there's the Ultimate Component, which is used to make the Ultimate Catalyst, which is used to make a Creative Chest. Not sure what Creative Chest does. Presumably just duplicates whatever item I put into it, which would be an interesting option for things that don't have EMC, if that's the use for it. But it needs Chaos Planks, which, oh my. Yes, let's back away from that one slowly. Yes, let's back away from that one slowly. We can create some other very weird metals using quantum compression, I guess, and the Ultimate Catalyst. Yeah, I assume these are all references to people who've sponsored basically Content Tweaker or something along those kind of lines, or whichever mod actually adds them. Not sure what these are actually used for. Oh, okay, so it's the recipes that actually you can trade directly for rack if you want to actually get all the rack recipes. Not going to worry about that. So let's back off. And is there anything else I can actually make with the Ultimate Ingot other than this? We can get the Creative Ember Source with the Ultimate Ingot and everything else, but that needs Infinity Ingots. We can use it to get that Neutronium solar panel. Interesting. So what else do we actually need then? So the petroleum solar panel, ender modular solar panel base, ender panels, etc. We may have to look at that now that I've got these ultimate ingots, but we still need the infinity catalyst. So that's another one to actually look for. Oh, and we need actually these sort of chaotic solar panels as well. So we have to go through up anyway, but we've got that regardless. And anything else? A couple of other recipes. It's part of the infinity ingot, so we're going to need to duplicate the blocks anyway. And it's also the creative fluid tank. Okay, so lots of stuff ahead to actually look forward to. But for now, I think I'll sign off here. Interesting episode. We've got a good power source. I've still attached the old reactor. I put another one of those injectors for the spectrocoils. Still attached to the reactor as well. So just in case we have a backup. And that should be good. But now I can get some more infinite blocks. I think I will just make sure... ultimate blocks. Block of ultimate ingot. So ultimate blocks is what we'll call this. And let's just rename that. Ultimate blocks. Okay. And there we go. Job done. Another episode over. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, share, click on the belly for notifications, or indeed put it in the comments below, which is the most important part, to let other players know tips. There's been plenty in previous videos, so no doubt you'll be telling me I'm doing things wrong. Let me turn off the night vision. And are you off now? It's entirely possible I turned off the mob essence. I did, yeah, because I was running a little bit short. I can turn it back on again, but I need to turn on my mob farm at some point soon and start getting more essence. Anyway, I'll see you next episode for some more Project Ozone 3. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.